Can there be other assassination attempts on the new POTUS? What are the impacts of this election on other major countries? Well, look, I'd rather not speculate about assassination attempts and all that. Okay, this is something that happens, that is deeply illegal activity, and it's very, I mean, no nation can tolerate such things. And so I don't know. Look, how will I know if there's going to be more assassination attempts? I think you should ask astrologers about that. Uh, when is it likely that a certain world leader could face assassination attempts? It's likely that a world leader has a higher probability of facing an assassination attempt either when he is deeply unpopular in his own country, or he is upsetting the apple cart and rocking the boat, so to say, vis-a-vis the real rulers of the country, the deep state, or he is doing something that makes other countries very uncomfortable, very powerful countries. It harms their interests. These are the roughly broad scenarios in which you could have assassination attempts on a world leader from any country. When it comes to the United States, it's very, very difficult to imagine another country being able to carry out or even attempting, being even able to attempt an assassination attempt on a US president. It's unheard of. It won't. I don't think there's any instance in history where that's happened. So then, the only scenario in which an assassination attempt on a US president can happen is either if he is deeply unpopular, broadly and deeply unpopular among the populace, or if he is doing something that is detrimental to the interests of the deep state. President John F. Kennedy comes to mind in that second context. So, in such scenarios, you could imagine that there's a higher likelihood of there being an assassination attempt on a sitting president. So that's what I can tell you. So, in those scenarios, you could have such a thing. That's all speculative. That's all hypothetical. We're not talking about any actuals over here. Okay. What are the impacts of this election on other major countries? Oh, there's gonna be lots of impacts on major countries. So let's go one by one with vis-a-vis various countries. Who's going to be happy with this election, with the fact that Donald Trump returns to power? First of all, India is going to be happy because the past 4 years, the Democrats, the Biden-Harris regime has piled on the agony on India, piled on the misery on India. So India is going to be happy. Mr. Modi is going to be happy for sure. Okay, things will improve between India and the US, transactionally at least. Well, look, even when Trump was president, you had the Delhi riots, etc., which were allegedly carried out by deep state. So Trump may not be able to prevent that, but overall, transactionally, the relationship will improve. So India will be happy. The relations will improve. Israel will be happy. The Democrats have historically, of late, been extremely antagonistic towards Israel. The Obama-Netanyahu relationship immediately comes to mind, right? So now the Israelis will be happy, Netanyahu will be happy. Who else do we think will be happy? Mohammed bin Salman will be happy. I mean, so it'll be good, overall better for him as well. Who's going to be unhappy with this? Xi Jinping, it doesn't make too much of a difference for him whether it's Biden in power or Trump in power. The US is gonna pile on the heat on China. So good for us, India. It gives us options vis-a-vis China. It gives us leverage when it comes to our dealings with China. Good for us. So Xi Jinping won't be happy. China won't be happy. Iran won't be happy. Remember Qasim Soleimani, Donald Trump had him assassinated, the Iranian general. So Iran won't be happy. Iran will face more heat. The Israelis will feel emboldened now by the election of President Trump, that they will have more of a free hand in dealing against Iran. So Iran will be unhappy about this. Putin will be happy. So the impact of this election, once Trump comes to power, is that Trump hates wastage of money. He wants a good deal in everything. And this incredible expenditure the US has incurred since 2022 on the Ukraine war, it's a huge waste of taxpayer money, American taxpayer money. I see Trump shutting that down. What does that mean? What happens if the US shuts down military aid and financial assistance to Ukraine? It means Zelensky is toast. So Zelensky needs to very rapidly come up with lots of various options. Next phase of life. Okay, he needs to get out of Kiev sooner rather than later, because once Trump pulls the plug, the war is over. The US will disengage from the Ukraine mess. It's going to be a huge uh, game changer for Europe as well, for NATO, for the EU. A lot will change there. So there's going to be a lot of concern in the EU right now and in NATO about what Trump's new policies are going to be like. So a lot will change. When it comes to Pakistan, not a lot will change. When it comes to Bangladesh, not a lot will change. When it comes to the Asia Pacific, Indo Pacific region, Trump will push India to be more active in the Quad, etc. That will happen. So once again, see, right now we are seeing this India-China relationship getting better. Trump will not be happy with that, and he will try to prevent that from happening. So there's going to be pressure on India, certainly, but overall things will get better for India. When it comes to Canada, well, Canada doesn't really matter. The UK doesn't really matter. The Five Eyes nations, apart from the US, don't matter. So all that. In Africa, um, well, things will go on kind of the way they have, but the US Russia relationship may kind of get better, kind of to some extent, and the North Korea thing will also kind of improve because Trump and Kim Jong Un are kind of friends. They were friends to some extent, and so on. So lots of things, lots of geopolitical relations will get recalibrated for sure. So a lot is going to change, and very rapidly too, once he assumes office, Trump.